When he says, I know nothing about music, this is legendary Rick Rubin. He has worked with artists like Eminem, Jay-Z, and Kanye West. He's a music producer worth over $300 million. Welcome to Joe Life Academy YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you my 37 lessons from 37 years here on earth, a journey through life wisdom, plus 9 lessons from legendary Rick Rubin on taking the necessary action in life to create the life you desire. I'm 37 years. I laughed, cried, failed, and succeed, and I'm sharing this in a hope that they might guide you in your journey in some way. I am directing mine in 5 parts plus the legendary Rick Rubin 9 lessons I believe you'll get out of here with 15 jam-packed life-changing wisdom. Believe it or not, the theme of this video is on action takers. Do the work today and keep doing it. The reward comes later. Now, part 1 on the 37 lessons, year 1 to year 5, my early life lessons. Born in the late 80s, I'm in this generation that has seen it all. Yeah, the lucky generation. I witnessed the birth of Windows, Microsoft, Yahoo, Google, PayPal, you name it. I even witnessed the real hip-hop, the reggae, cool country music, pop music, and some of the real good soul music, not this work stuff that you currently listen to. That's why I can openly say that I am built differently. My lesson takeaway here of early years are innocence, discovery, and trust. These are the sponge-like life moments. As it's obvious, you absorb everything here at early age. If you're a mom or dad like myself, I remind you to be present in your kid's life early, as it matters. The good thing is, your kids are way very smarter than you think. They always absorb what you're doing and not what you're saying. Be present in their childhood photos. Be present in them. Be present with them in playgrounds. Be present with them on their first day at school. These early years is when I've learned to share the value of friendship and curiosity over fear. This will help later in creation of something you love, as legendary Rick Rubin said. All that matters is that you are making something you love to the best of your ability, here and now. It's obvious, passion beats perfection. When you love what you're creating, you're excited, your excitement becomes contagious. Always, you can't fake authenticity.
You know, if I like it, that doesn't mean anything. That's what people think. It's like, just because I like it, that doesn't give it any value. It's like, as an artist, if you like it, that's all of the value. That's the success comes when you say, I like this enough for other people to see it. Not other people like it, so it's successful. That doesn't mean anything, because that's other people liking it is out of your control. All that's in your control is making the thing to the best of your ability. I talk about it, usually the way I talk about it is greatness. And that's the way I thought of it. My whole life was, my interest is in making something great. Greatness, lasting greatness, timeless. And I came to realize recently, it's all an offering to God. And if you're making an offering to God, you're not thinking about, oh, what's the budget? Or I hope this segment of the audience is going to like it. We don't think like that. It's a higher vibration. We're making the best we can make to the best of our ability out of love and devotion.
On part 2 of the 37 lessons is from year 6 to 15 years, the adolescence and young adulthood. There are many lessons taken away here, but identity, mistakes, and growth dominated. These years were when we have teenage hangouts, I had my first job, and college graduations. And the biggest lesson that I've managed to get out of my life here was embracing who you are and the importance of making your own mistakes and resiliences. Why? It's obvious, happiness is a trap, and Hollywood has pushed out this propaganda for years. Remember Romeo and Juliet?
So what? He's scared of love? Everyone's scared of love, dipshit. You learn that in your 20s. It takes a very rare, very powerful being to be terrified of happiness. Dumb! You're dumb. That's why you're not scared to be happy. The smarter you are, the more you know. Happiness is a trap. It can't last forever. Let's say you meet the love of your life. Well, it's still going to end. It's inevitable, whether by the slow pull of a disease or the shock of loose footing on a hiking trail, whether it be the corrosion of two personalities that reshape each other until they're incompatible, or maybe the old stranger in a bar who says the things that need to be said to that person that night. The point is, happiness always ends. Best case scenario, think about this. Best case is that you die at the same time. Yikes.
Yeah. That's a total deep shit. Every man needs to be broken, like heartbroken like twice or thrice, so he can come to his senses. As for women, I have seen that they've never get it. They can be broken 100 times and still going back there. On making mistakes so that you learn how to take different approaches, this will much help you from a curse of procrastination. Rubin says, if you have an idea you are excited about and you don't bring it to life, it's not uncommon for the idea to find its voice through another maker. Ideas are worthless without execution. Just ship fast or watch your opportunity disappear. Just start.
I believe we're vehicles for information that when it's ready to come through, it comes through. And the people who have good antennas pick up the signal. But if I'm sure you've had an experience in your life where you've had an idea for something and you've not acted on it, and eventually someone else does it. And it's not because they're doing it because you had the idea and they stole your idea. It's because the time has come for that idea. And if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it.
It's being broadcast by whatever the source is.
Whatever the source is.
I am hoping to this point we are still here together. So hang on, there is more wisdom coming. Now on part 3 on the 37 lesson, year 16 to year 25, my professional life. Yes, if you didn't know my profession, I'm a professional accountant. My research paper was on adoption of International Financial Reporting Standards, the IFRS, which was like 15 years back ago, and of which, as per today, there are 168 jurisdictions on earth as per IFRS.org that uses them. Career-wise, I didn't work much as an accountant. I was once introduced to marketing, and ever since I never looked back. In reality, marketing has allowed me to travel the world, meet incredible minds, mastermind with some of the top of the cream out there. So as I build many relationships and had balance of my life too. The lesson takeaway here are work ethics, networking, and balance between work and personal life. Here's a scenario that I would like to share with you. You might be into the same trap. If so, just listen. So there is the type A people versus the type B people. So you might ask how? I think the type A people have a type B people problem, and type B people have type A people problem. Here is why. As an insecure overachievers need to learn how to chill and relax. Also, the lazy people needs to learn how to work harder and be disciplined. Yes. Given that you are watching this and are following me, I'm going to guess you are probably a type A people. It's like some version of a walking action disorder harnessed for productivity. As Andrew Wilkinson said, the thing you may have already realized, type A people with a type B people problem get very little sympathy. It is because miserable but outwardly successful person always appear to be in a much professional position than contentless but on the verge of bankrupt one. So here's why. Problems of opportunity will always get less sympathy than one of scarcity. How? Thanks for asking. One feels like a choice, the other feels like a limitation. One feels like a bourgeois luxury, the other as a systematic imposition. You will hear someone says, I need someone to teach me how to be disciplined and work hard. This feels noble, upward, aiming, and charitable. Yes. While the other will say, I need someone to teach me how to switch off and relax. This feels dopaminergic, addicted, transactional, and opulent. As in every underdog movie you've ever watched, has a training montage of someone sorting their life by working harder. None include a guy learning how to log out of Slack at 6 p.m. or finally enjoy a beach holiday. So yes, type A people may objective have the better lives, but subjectively they are ravaged by the sense that they've never done enough. They wake up every morning feeling as they're already falling behind, and only if they dominate the entire day flawlessly will they have dragged themselves back up to some minimum level of acceptable output, which means they can go to sleep that night without feeling like a waste man. Congratulations, you might be very successful but also might be very miserable. Just work harder, bro. I advise reliably makes everyone more successful in the only way that they can be judged outwardly. There are very few issues in life which can't be solved by just working harder. So everyone treat it as a panacea and not a purpose-built tool. On average, maybe more people do need to hear David Goggins shouting in their faces, "Go harder," than Eckhart Tolle whispering in their ear that they already enough. But for a certain, perhaps minority cohort of people, they actually need to hear the opposite message. We need a parasympathetic Goggins. Who is going to carry the TV remote, you ask? And the Cheetos? Yeah. So, type B people, problems are just as tough as type A ones, but they require as much less sex solution. Yes. Peace. It's one you can't actually achieve by working harder. Now, you can go and sign up for my side hustle system to start your work week off right. The most exciting side hustle for you to earn $1,000 a month in commission with no selling or competition. This is the whole new ball game. I highly recommend it. The 4-hour work week, like you can escape 9 to 5, live anywhere and enjoy the new rich. Just imagine making an extra $1,000 every month just by copying and pasting. And the best part, you can leverage artificial intelligence and virtual assistants. Just go to dailybusinessreviewer.com/side hustles. That's it. Link is on the description below, or you can DM me a word hustle to get started as soon as possible. Now to the part 4 of the 37 lessons, year 26 to year 35. This is all about personal growth and reflection. The first lesson takeaway here is the power of choice. How? The wealth invest in time while they ambitiously cultivate their skills. It can be done through reading a book, or attending an event, or even taking action. In contrast, the unmotivated you always seek for distraction to fill your day. Let it be scrolling on TikTok or going to clubbing or any nonsense that's usually used for distraction. I've been there, I've done that. Ultimately, it's the choice we make every day that shape our future. The small decisions determine our path and influence our success or failures. By investing in ourselves and our time, we can lead to significant growth. By prioritizing our goals, we can create the life we desire. Every choice we make is a step towards our dreams or far, far away from them. You might ask, Joe, how to become an expert? Simple. Do more repetitions than anyone else in your narrow field. And the second part is the power of waiting. Yes, doors are opening. That wait wasn't punishment, but rather it was preparation. We are now living in a world of instant gratification, the world of pushing a button and lunch or dinner is here. You need to know that only discipline can fix more than 85% of your problems. In other way of telling you, your problems are nothing, it is just the lack of discipline. Be disciplined for the next year and you'll see you'll be a completely different animal, a person you have always wished to be. I had to do it myself to become my own case study, so it works, I know. To tell you into a deeper secret of the universe, do you know who's the most dangerous person out there? Do you? The most dangerous person is the one who listens more, thinks, and observes. Be that person. So embrace the challenges that shape you, take responsibility for your journey, innovate and build your dreams. And do this. Nourish your body like royalty, train with resultant discipline, flourish in every aspect of your life, work with unwavering focus, unleash your inner strength, awaken the warrior within, evolve beyond your limits, elevate your potential, remove all excuses, and cast aside all your vices and claim your victory. The question is, are you ready? I know most people will watch this, feel something briefly, and then move on with their life. And only 1% will take action and achieve their dreams. Become that 1%. The move that you're afraid to make could be the one that changes everything for you. Yeah. And the third lesson here on this part 4 is it's okay to take breaks. Legendary Rick Rubin said, distraction is not procrastination. Distraction is a strategy in service of the work. Your best ideas often comes when you step away, slow down, get outside, take a walk in the woods. Nature is life's greatest mentor. Sometimes pausing, reassessing, and recharging is the best course of action. It's not about giving up, but taking a step back to gather perspective and refuel your energy. Burnout can result from always pushing forward without contemplation in a work or life. So take your time to reset, allow you to return stronger and more focused, ready to face the next challenge with a new perspective. Success necessitates both activity and leisure. So here, self-awareness, giving back, and health are very important. And always remember the day you prayed for the things you have now. Remember that day. And the most important life lesson is, if you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. If you can't change the people around you, change the people around you. Why? Remove yourself from negative cycles, environments, and feeds. It's vital for your personal growth and well-being. Surround yourself with people who push you higher and follow voices that inspire and empower you. You'll hear, "Oh, you are doing it wrong," say someone who is doing nothing at all. It's simple for folks on the sideline to criticize when they are not playing. Do not let the opinions of the people who are not doing action deter you from your goals. The loudest voices are the frequent those who have not taken the risk or put in the effort you're putting. So focus on your vision, believe in your methods, and let your outcomes speak louder than their words. Continue pushing, and do not spend energy on those sounds. It is in this year that I learned meditation impact, the joy of giving. Health isn't just about the body. Meditation is a daily reset pattern. Rick says, awareness needs constant refreshing. If it becomes a habit, even a good habit, it will need to be reinvented again and again. So a calm mind leads to calm company. Your most valuable asset is your mental clarity.
You talk about habits in the book, and we're only as creative as the habits we keep, you say. How do we develop that mindset? Is there a step-by-step system, or is it something that you just start tomorrow and you now are more curious when something conflicting comes your way?
It's something you get better at the more you practice. And meditation is a great tool to quiet ourselves enough to get in touch with how we see the world. The closer we can get to what we see, that's a starting position to be able to then understand how someone else sees it. And it's interesting to be able to learn to argue the points opposite what you believe. You know, if you don't understand all sides of the story, you don't really understand the story. So it's helpful to understand the whole picture and hold all of the beliefs softly enough to be surprised and learn something new and change everything.
Part 5 of my 7 lesson, year 36 to 37, of which lesson of here on earth. What wisdom gain here on earth? If you want better friends, get used to be seeing them less. Better friends are busy friends. So it's always quality over quantity, right? True friends don't need constant attention. They are grinding, they are growing, and making things happen. So the catch-ups are just better when everyone makes the moves. Funny though, I find my very busiest and most successful friends are often the ones that are first to make time for me if I need help or support. I think it's because maybe they have life under control, or they are always ready to be there for you. For me, that's the mark of a true friendship. My perspective here is bet on yourself is essential. So take the risk and take action, and no more excuses. It's all about trusting yourself and staying focused on the bigger picture. And remember, people always enjoy your failures and not your success. Obvious. So for me, right now, I know only my mom and my wife were the only people around me when I was at a very rock bottom of my life, and some few family and friends who are my inner circle right now. So the takeaway lesson here is time is your most valuable asset, and life is not about perfection but fulfillment. Another wisdom gain is the power of habits. I learned it from Rick Rubin. So Rick says, good habits create good art. The way we do them, anything is the way we do everything. So habits are like bank accounts. We deposit small amounts over time, and it pays dividends always.
Good habits allow art to continue to be made. In other words, if you make things using a shortcut method, let's say you get really high to have an experience that's otherworldly, and you can write a great song that way. I think eventually, and if we look historically, usually the odds catch up and it doesn't work to be a sustainable solution. So the beauty of this is that we're talking about sustainable solutions, healthy habits that allow you to do good work for a long period of time.
Yes, another lesson and wisdom gain is on continuous improvement. Legendary Rick Rubin says the only people we can compete with is ourselves. The only real competition is the person you were yesterday. If you focus on getting 1% better every day, you'll be unstoppable.
The only people who we can honestly compete with is ourselves. It's like, is this the best I can make today? Have I gone further than I've gone before? That's all we can do. That's the only competition that makes sense, is continuing to evolve and push ourselves artistically and not get complacent, especially in success. It's easy to get complacent once something works. It's like, I'll just keep doing more of that. It ends up maybe one more time you can get away with it. But once 3 are similar, it stops being interesting.
Then, to achieve anything here on earth, you need to always have an abundant mindset. Rick Rubin says, in the abundant mindset, the river never runs dry. Ideas are always coming through, and an artist is free to release them with the faith that more will arrive tomorrow. So the more you give to the world, the more you receive in return.
You talk about the abundance mindset. In getting to that part of the book, you talk about the importance of understanding that number of ideas, essentially the number of ideas out there is infinite, not finite.
Yes.
When you understand it's infinite, then you're not scared of imitating someone, because you're like, there's a million things out there. We don't have to hold tightly to what we've done and react in a hostile manner if someone tries to imitate us, because there's a million fish in the sea. It's fine. I think the idea that the number of new ideas is infinite has kind of fallen out of favor somehow.
Yeah, it's just odd. People can be wrong, and it's okay. That's fine. In some ways, the fact that it's fallen out of favor means the people who embrace the tried and true methods that have worked will find greater success, and there'll be less stuff in between.
You remember the famous Zig Ziglar's quote? You can have whatever you want in life if you can help enough people get what they want. I think so. Just like what happiness is, also perfectionism is a myth. Rubin says, the imperfections you are tempted to fix might prove to be what make the work great. So stop waiting for the right moment. It doesn't exist. Your imperfect work today beats your perfect work tomorrow.
What makes it great is the personal.
Yeah.
With all of its imperfections, with all of its quirkiness, that's what makes it great. How you see the world, that's different from how everyone else sees the world. That's why you're an artist. That's your purpose in sharing your work with the world.
The last of the lesson today is always be obsessed. Legendary Rick Rubin said, it requires the obsessive desire to create great things. This pursuit doesn't have to be agonizing. It can be enlivening. Find a work that feels like play and let your obsession fuel your success. Love the process and the result will follow.
I think so many of the great artists do it naturally. You can't help it. It's the obsessive nature of being really into something that once you start down a thread, you just keep pulling forever. If you're interested, many of the artists that are great at what they do are great at what they do for that very reason. They fall in love with this thing, and then they just want to know everything they could possibly learn about it. And there are no distractions. So,
want to turn these life and creative lessons and principles we learned here today into a scalable business? Join my live free side hustle workshop by visiting dailybusinessreviewer.com/side hustles. I'll show you how to build an extra $1,000 per month in commissions with no sales and competition. You will be able to leverage my systems, artificial intelligence, and virtual assistants. All this for a side hustle for you that's beautiful, systemized, and profitable. So time's run out. Grab your spot here. I hope the link is still working right now, as the plan this month is getting 1,000 people on. So that's $1 million a month in commission going out there to the community. My hope you'll be part of the community that's taking advantage of this side hustle. When driven by passion, the process of creating can be uplifting and energizing, but without genuine desire, it quickly leads to burnout. Hope to be reading on the comments below of what lessons has impacted you today to make a change within your life. Don't forget to like, share this with your family, and subscribe for more tips, strategies, and resources along my journey of helping 1,000 people earn an extra $1,000 per month in commission with no selling and competition for life. Peace out. I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.
Everybody know my style, niggas know that I'm the best when it come to doing this, and I be banging on my chest, and I bang in the east, and I banging in the west, and I kinda give you more, and I will never give you less. You will hear it in the street, or you can read it in the press. Do you really wanna know what's next? Let's go. See the way we on it, and we all up in the race, and you know we got it, gonna try to keep up with the pace, and we're struggling.